Welcome to today's episode of Youth in Service, and I am Idris Dauda. I'll be your host for today's episode, and with me is Rhoda Unifade.
Yeah, I'll be the co-host for today's program, Youth in Service. And you might be wondering, who is this handsome guy with us here? So he's our guest for today. So guys, please introduce yourself.
My name is Ogundimo Ololade David.
Yeah, and for today's topic is quite an interesting one. And for you to figure it out, you have to stay with us till after this break.
Welcome back. And if you are just joining us, this is Youth in Service, brought to you from NTA Abeokuta. So today, our topic for today's program will be oblivious lifestyle among youth. So, Mr. David, are you ready for us today?
Yes.
Yes. As she has said, today's topic is oblivious and materialism amongst our youth occupers. And in case you are wondering, this English is too much. Well, oblivious is just living an I don't care attitude or I don't care lifestyle, and materialism is just showing off what you have or using materials to achieve your success or to dictate your success. Today, Ogudimo David, can you tell us how these two relates to our youth and how they relate?
Well, oblivious lifestyle, like the word oblivious, it's like a state of being unaware, and like you said, nonchalant attitude. Oblivious lifestyle leaves its victim in a state of not considering or caring the dangers that the lifestyle that they live poses on the youth. While materialism is an act of being excessively wanting of material things, you understand, regardless of the pros and cons that it poses out, you understand. So I feel the synergy between these two state of mind is the fact that the victim who is like suffering from this mentality, the synergy there is that they don't really care, understand. They are like addicted to it. They don't really care the disadvantage and the effect on the youth in the society.
Okay, thank you, Mr. David. So I'll be asking you this question.
Right.
Would you say these two, oblivious, this thing, and materialism, would you say it has done more harm than good? What would you say about that?
Well, I feel yes, definitely. Looking at the society that we are today, unfortunately, I would say that this lifestyle has done more harm than good. Because first and first, like as youth these days, we are already getting old too quick. Like we're dying very early, like because we really want to like accumulate so many material things at a very young age. At the end of the day, it doesn't make our life have essence, because let's say at the age of 30 you've already had the car, you already have a house, you already have, so at the age, like before you get to 50, life loses value to you because you feel like you've achieved everything you want to achieve already, you understand. And another thing is, most of the youth don't know when to stop, or they don't know the boundaries to not cross. They don't know how to balance it, so they just feel like, my mate is doing this, I have to do this, you understand. They just go all out.
Okay, they don't know when to draw the line.
Yeah.
So before I ask the question, are you saying it is at the age of 30 accumulating so much is actually too much?
No, I'm not saying like at the age of 30. Like, let me first say this first. Age is just a number, and I feel like after you're being born, you need to like decide for yourself like when is the right time for you. You don't have to dance to the tune of other people, you understand, because our part in life is quite different and unique. So because my friend actually at the age of 30 has a house and a car, and I am not opportune to do that, does not mean I have to like it's good to strive, but does not mean like I now have to like inconvenience others, you understand, or do things that are wrong, ethically wrong, just because I want to achieve that, you understand. That's what I feel like we should learn to just flow with life. That's just my ideology.
So David, how has this lifestyle, this oblivious and materialism lifestyle, how has it affect the youth? How does it have any disadvantages to the youth?
I would say it's like what I said earlier on. The disadvantages are tremendous.
Okay.
Like just a few days ago, we woke up to the news of teenagers who beheaded the girl just for ritual.
That news.
Yeah, so it gets you thinking. If somebody, I can't remember what I was doing at 17. if at 17, like your mindset is the mindset of
to make money,
yeah, you understand,
to do ritual.
yeah, and I feel like the media is not really helping. I feel like the media is not helping. I feel like the media should I feel more of social media and blogs. I feel like some news or some things are like right now in the society, fraudsters are being adored in the music. Bloggers are always like, they even pay these bloggers to hail them, you understand. So I feel it's like if you go to secondary schools now, you see kids in secondary school using iPhones, exorbitant price amounts of iPhones,
exactly.
And nobody's asking questions. So I feel like it's already creating a sense of responsibility too heavy for these kids.
Okay, so what do we say are the consequences of this oblivious lifestyle? Like, because I know you've mentioned some while we were talking about some major consequences of this lifestyle.
I feel one of the consequences of this lifestyle is the fact that you can't close your eyes to sleep.
Exactly.
Now,
you are not safe.
You're not safe. You understand? That's one of the consequences. The fact that whenever you're going out, you have to double check. Like even in our environment where we were born, that we are supposed to have like freedom, we still walk around feeling like, you understand?
We walk around with fear.
With fear, you understand? That's the consequence. That's the consequence.
Yeah. So how can youths or couples overcome this? Like for people that have this mindset that my friend is using iPhone 13, I have to use it by all means. My friend is driving a Benz, I have to drive it by all means. How can they clear their mind of this philosophy and follow the right path?
I feel like they should digest more of contentment. I feel like we don't really preach contentment enough in various institutions, religious institutions, social institutions. Like when you go to school, like I feel like they don't really teach more about contentment. They just really teach us more about how you can make the world a better place, by forgetting that one of the ways that you can make the world a better place is by not destroying it more than you met it. You understand? And I feel like one thing about contentment is a great virtue.
Exactly.
When you know how to like maximize what you have, you understand, without like inconveniencing others. I feel like it's a great virtue. So I feel like youth and couples out there should really understand that no matter how difficult it is in life, you are actually better than someone. Exactly. Regardless of the fact that someone is better than you. You understand? So you should always look in the mirror and look at yourself and feel good about yourself. Even if your childhood friend is using an iPhone 11 and you have a phone, remember that someone doesn't have a phone. Somebody does not even have a hand to press a phone. So I feel like it's just contentment. That's the only thing I'm going to say.
Okay, thank you for that beautiful point. So David, what would be your advice for youths around in the society? Like, what advice would you like to give our youth out there?
Well, my advice to the youths right now, I feel like we the youth right now, we are already like this Yoruba philosophy of dried fish. Like we're already too dry. You can't break them right now, you understand? Because every youth out there is hell bent. But I'll just say to the fresh fish out there that can still adjust, that most of the decisions we have to make right now should not just be for ourselves, it has to be for the coming generation. I have this personal philosophy and I pray it doesn't come to pass, because I tell it to my friends that, you see, the coming generation, our kids, they are going to suffer more mental breakdown than our present generation, and it's just due to the decisions that we, this present youth, are making. So for that not to happen, I feel like the advice would have to be that the coming generation should learn, this generation rather, should learn how to teach ourselves to be contented with where we are, and at the same time to take it one step at a time. I think the fastest way to get to wherever we are going is to take the steps slowly, once at a time. You understand? Yeah, that's just it.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for staying with us. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back to the show, and in case you are just joining us, you've not missed a lot, you understand. It's brought to you live from NTA Abeokuta, channel 103 on Star Times, and our topic for today is oblivious lifestyle and materialism among our youth or couples. You understand, we have Ogudimo Ololade David with us.
Yes,
we've actually discussed a lot, in case you missed it, but we have more to talk about. David, in what way has school contributed to this oblivious or materialism in our life?
I feel like one way that this our schools have like contributed to the celebration of this menace in our society. Number one is because I feel like our schools are not teaching more about the virtues that comes with contentment. Like I feel like the school is just all centered about graduating with good grades, and the school is not letting you know that even if you don't graduate with good grades, there's still a place for you in the society. Understand? The school is creating more rejects than more accepted people into the society. So once these people feel like I cannot blend into the school and feel like okay, the school is not, there's no place for me in school, they feel like the next place for them to go is go out and try to make a way for themselves. You understand? There's this popular ideology that the school is scam. You understand? But the truth of it is that school is actually not scam. Our schools are supposed to be a place that teach you that for whatever your strengths and weaknesses are, there's always a place for you in society. Not that you always have to come out like the society is always made for people in that graduate with first class, second class. You'll be even surprised that some people are actually past graduates and they have institutions that are employing first class students. Understand? So I feel that's one way the schools have actually affect, and I feel another way the school has encouraged this is the fact that some lecturers knows that okay, this student is actually is a fraudster. You understand? But because of the money, you understand, flashed in their face, these lecturers will go ahead and pass these students because they are I don't like there are instances where like students buy lecturers exorbitant gifts.
Exactly.
You understand? So that lecturer is already at the beck and call of that student.
Exactly.
You understand? So I feel these are one of the ways that the school are encouraging these people.
Sorry, David, to actually now you are pointing out higher institution, university, polytechnics, and college of education. What of those secondary school? You know nowadays.
Exactly. These young boys.
I feel like in secondary school, I feel this is I was talking to a friend and I said we should go out and do more sensitivity in the secondary schools to prevent our girl child from being victims of ritual items. You understand what I'm saying? At the same time, we need to teach these boys from the secondary school. It's just that you see, you know, I feel like the way that secondary schools have actually contributed to this is the fact that I feel the secondary school, most of this, especially public secondary school, they really don't pay attention to the social development of the male child. I feel they are only concerned about the academic development of the male child. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. So, for example, you as a teacher, you see your child come to school as a second. I saw a video of secondary school students driving cars to school, and I'm like, okay, what is the principal of the secondary school doing? What are the teachers doing?
Idris,
you understand? You understand? Like you get what I'm saying. So I feel like the fact that these teachers are probably carried away with their own personal life, which doesn't even give them the time to pay attention to these kids. But there's this Yoruba philosophy or proverb that says, when your neighbor is eating a bad insect and you refuse to warn him, then by the time they start disturbing you in the midnight, you won't sleep also. So I feel like that's what is happening to us right now.
Okay, thank you for that beautiful point, Idris. But me, I feel that the parents have more jobs to do than actually the school. Because the duration of those people in school, how many you are just going there to teach?
Let me ask you a question. I understand, but let me give you.
Well, you know, most of these students, they spend most of their time in school.
Yeah, that's my point. That's exactly. Thank you. That's
8 hours or something like that. You understand? They don't spend like 3 hours.
Throughout the 6 years, you spend in secondary school, you spend more time in school than with your parents at home. Yeah, because
you feel. I feel like some students are actually very notorious, and some parents kind of encourage these things.
Yeah, I know. You know why? Because the thing is, if you look at Africa right now, the rich percentage of Africa is, I think, approximately like 20%. We have then the middle class holds like, I think, about like 30%. Then we have like 50% of the poor people. You understand now?
Yeah, so please, you have to, some people just have the ideology that okay, a poor person is someone that does not have money. But according to UN, they said a poor person is someone who can't afford to eat a food of $1. That is like 300 or something.
Well, in my own context, when I'm talking about poverty, I'm not really talking about maybe monetary poverty. Even mental poverty.
Yeah, okay.
Because because even following that statistics I gave, like I still feel like we still have like 20% of properly elite educated people that are actually financially okay also.
Exactly.
You understand? Then we have like, let's say about 30% of people who are like well educated and are still trying to like in the middle class juggling. Then we know that the 50% are like, if you check among the poor people that we have in Africa today, majority of them are illiterate. You understand? So they still fall under that category. So what I'm just trying to say is the reason why most of the parents would actually indulge their kids in this thing is because, number one, before you talk sense to a man's head, you need to feel his belly first, so that he can have the strength to like process what you're saying. So right now you can't like you can't ask a parent that has been poor like virtually all their life and they are seeing money flashing in front of them. The only thing I feel they could do, they would probably do is like at first try to like, you know, be curious about, but on the long run they'll come to terms with it, and that is the problem. The fact that we can condone these things in our society is the problem. The fact that a mother can take a child to meet a fraudster that, please let me train this my child to become a fraudster like you. Wow. I don't want to care what you're doing, but as far as you're making money is, you know, money is the only language you speak now. You understand? So since now money has not just become a means to an end. Money is now a means of communication. Some people won't even hear you if you're not talking money.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
So
yes. So Femi, you know, sorry, David, you know they say it takes a woman to give birth, but it takes a community to train the child. So what impact does the community or the society, let us say community, you know, so when we say society we are enlarging it, but when we say community, maybe the streets or the compound where the child grows up, you understand? If the parents cannot talk to the child, at least the neighbors should be able to talk to the child. Look, come here, I saw you grow up, you can't do this thing, you can't do this thing. But it still boils down to the parent, because when a neighbor is talking to his or her child that, hey, where did you see money to get this kind of phone? Where did you see money to get?
The parents are actually not butchering that child. What is your business as a neighbor?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
it still boils down to the fact that, you see, in Africa right now, at this present stage, you know, back in those days when the society was still collective,
Exactly.
it was easy to correct. Like back in those days, you understand. If a child
can beat a child.
you understand, and the mother will understand. Even though if the mother is not happy about it, but the mother knows that.
Be able to talk.
Yeah, even the mother. Definitely, there's no way you beat my child and I'll be happy with it. But if I know that okay, you are correcting this child for the good reason. Back then it was cool, but now like our society is more personal. It's just like the society now is like a gate man. Whatever you want to do, the society opens the door for you to do what you want to do. Like they don't question you. Like, who are you coming here to see? You understand? The society is like that gate. It gives you that freedom. You understand? For example, now you go to church. You understand? You go to church and you see a boy of 18-year-old. You understand? Contributing exorbitant amount of money to the construction of the church, and the pastor is not asking questions because the pastor feels like God has blessed. You understand? We go to weddings, you understand? We see young boys spray money, and even the MC, in fact, does not even recognize the elders in the party anymore. You understand? So I feel like it still boils down to mental poverty. Like we are poor in the head, and this poverty in our head has given room to the death of so many ideals and values that we've grown to learn as a society. Exactly. So I feel like the only thing the community has done is the community has stopped asking questions.
Exactly.
That's just
sorry to ask you again. You mentioned pastor. Can we say religion is playing its part in this oblivious?
Yes. Like the thing is, I'm not one to talk about religion because I like to keep a free mind because towards things. But the thing is, I feel like definitely religion is playing a big part because if you by the time you go online now, you see that you hear a pastor. Back in my school, a very close friend of mine, also a neighbor of mine, was used for money ritual, and when we got down to the whole issue, we realized that it was a pastor that asked the boyfriend of the girl to bring the girl for a ritual. So you tend to ask like a pastor. Now we might say okay, there are different type of pastors. There are pastors, but you can still take it on. You can't take them away from it. The same way you still hear about some affairs. Some affairs will be pounding soap and stuff like that, and you tend to wonder like when is this is this theological? You understand? Does it go along with the doctrines of your religion?
Exactly.
Then I feel like at large, our African traditional religion, the worship, the Ogun worshippers, I feel like they are doing the most of
Exactly,
it.
because they are the one that does
You understand?
rituals for
You
these young
understand?
guys.
So even from another angle, it even seems as if Christianity and Muslim and Islam, it's just like some of these people that are perpetrating evils through this religion. It's just like they are African traditional religion worshippers, but because they know that people don't feel comfortable going to herbalists anymore,
So they go to
so
church
they
and
know
establish
yeah,
churches
you
and
understand.
mosques.
So they just you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I feel like religion is another thing we should get rid of as a society is the mentality that, you know, because I feel we should start thinking rationally. I still want to believe how killing a human being will
that's
produce
actually
you
what I was
paper
saying.
cash.
Yes.
So I still
Is
want
it
to
CBN license or
you understand?
You understand?
So you get, but for the fact that people are doing it, I want to have like a 1%.
My own concern is this. I feel like for somebody that is doing it, I feel like if you want to do something, you should check the person that is doing it. How is the person like? And somebody will now tell you somewhere that if you do this, you have this money.
Don't get it wrong. Sorry. Don't get it wrong. Like I saw a documentary on YouTube. They interviewed like an herbalist. And the herbalist was very, very plain. He said they want these guys. They tell these guys the repercussion. The reason why these herbalists will not do it for themselves and do it for their kids is because they know the repercussion, and they tell these guys the repercussion.
But they don't care. Right?
But these guys don't care. They just want to, like, do you know?
I feel this money ritual of a thing is actually it's in Nollywood that gives birth to this money ritual.
Okay, you feel the
not even the media.
Nollywood promotes.
Yes. When you see
ritual.
movies of I don't know, Igbo movies. You see that?
Not really Igbo.
Even Yoruba
I feel
movies.
every.
But they actually give us when you do this is a consequence, this is a repercussion.
But I would not want to say. Sorry. I would not want to say that. Okay, maybe Igbos or Hausas or their movies. The thing is, to be truthful to ourselves, before religion came, rituals were part of our African traditional religion.
Exactly.
You understand? Rituals were actually part of our African traditional religion. So I feel like we cannot just say that, okay, these are things that people believed in that worked for them. You understand? So if you're going to that aspect, I feel like...
I'm sorry to cut you short. You said rituals are part of our traditional religion.
Yeah.
But I don't think... No, rituals in what sense? I don't think killing people.
Yes, that's what I want to say.
I don't think killing people. I understand rituals, sacrificing goats, sacrificing other things, but I don't think...
I think, okay.
And for me, sorry to cut you short, Idris. In the olden days, I feel like the only people I feel like they even use for ritual motive, maybe somebody that offended somebody. Maybe you offend, maybe...
So I feel okay, actually, the herbalist tell, or the whoever is involved, tell them, okay, this is the consequence.
Okay.
But if you want to go on with this, they give them like a very difficult task to do. Just look at that, the one that happened recently. That is, for me, is a most ridiculous tax. Like, it's very taxing, you understand?
Okay.
You tell them, go and bring the head of a lady. You understand? And it's very hard. Even me, I can't even kill chicken. And I feel they give them this tax to scare them away.
Okay.
But when you come back with it, they feel that okay,
you're really
business. You really mean business.
Me, I feel like time has changed. Things have improved, and we've gathered more experience and knowledge. So I feel like there are things we shouldn't like condone. You understand? Ritual is not something we should condone. At a particular period in the world, maybe that was a way of thinking and doing things. But I feel like right now, I feel like we should move, because the thing is, I feel Africa is like hundreds of years behind. You understand? So I feel if we don't abandon this old way of thinking and still do ritual, honestly, like, I really don't know what to do. But still bringing it back to our topic of material lifestyle and this thing, I personally feel like we need to start praising, and we need to start exalting little works that hard work. For example, we need to start celebrating. For example, if you go to a function and you want to invite a carpenter or somebody or a tailor, we need to like praise these people.
Okay.
Yeah, you understand? So that people want to aspire to be like them. It's because when you go to events and they call somebody and you don't even know the source of wealth of the person, but because the person have money, you see, you kind of downgrade the other. So I feel like this kind of profession that the society has looked down on as menial jobs, by the time we start like praising these jobs, you see that we start giving,
We start celebrating.
by the time we start celebrating these jobs, you see that we start giving the society, the younger ones, we start giving them an atmosphere to you understand, to feel like, okay, whatever they are doing, you understand, because most of these Yahoo boys, most of them, you'll be surprised that some of them actually have skills that they learn. Some of them are mechanics, some of them are but because they feel like
it's not bringing money.
Not like it's not bringing money. It is because they feel like I will use the word the hype.
Okay, the hype. Yes. Okay, they are not celebrating them.
That
job.
Okay. That's why they feel like But on the other hand, in civilized countries, you will see carpenters that are invited to universities to come and give lecture on furniture works.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Exactly. So it is.
So Femi, thank you for this insightful episode. And in case you are just joining us, you've missed a lot, but you've not missed. You can also catch this episode on YouTube. Just search NT Abeokuta, you'll see it. And thank you once again for coming on this show. We are really grateful, and this is actually a delightful topic that everyone
every youth must actually see.
So Rhoda, do you have anything to say?
Well, for me, I would just say let everybody be very careful. I feel like contentment is key, like you rightly said.
So I feel contentment should be the
keyword.
Exactly.
So let every youth be contented. Let everybody work at their own pace. Don't let anybody intimidate you or maybe push you to do what you don't want to do. And I feel like our parents who let us try to inculcate good morals in our children, because I feel like the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. If there's fear of God in you, I feel like there's some certain things
our parents should stop pressurizing kids into acquiring things. You understand? Let everybody be. Our journey through life is unique. That's why we don't. You understand?
Exactly.
So thank you for staying with us, and
see you next week on another interesting episode of Youth in Service.
Bye.